Hi, everyone. We are back with Coach Johnston. Coach, you guys ended the meet with your two highest rotation scores on beam and floor for the season, and you also won floor in this meet, and you had three new people make their debuts in the lineup for the season. So what does it say about the team to be able to have so many new people in the lineups and to be able to finish as strong as you all did?
Yeah, it was great to get, three new faces into the lineup. That was actually unexpected. And so I think they did a really good job of responding and stepping in and stepping up when they were needed. It's always hard to have back-to-back falls like that. And so it really was a big moment for our team to learn how to recover from those mistakes and not let that affect the next person that was going to go. And so give a lot of credit to Maddie Walagora for really kind of turning the corner and stepping up and not being hesitant in her approach, but continuing to just go big. And then to take that over to beam and floor and have our two highest scores of the year so far. I think that says a lot about this team and how they come together and just commit to each moment. I think this meet helped us get better, and I think we'll continue to see people step up and get a few people healthy as we move forward throughout the season.
Hey, Coach, you talked about getting healthy. I saw Makari in a boot, and then Shallon didn't compete today. Do you have any updates on them?
Sure. Makari, just really a silly little mistake. She was running while she was warming up yesterday and just happened to roll it. And it's okay. She's going to be fine. It should be a pretty quick recovery, but we just needed today to calm it down. I mean, probably if the meet was tomorrow or the next day, she might have been able to go, but it just wasn't worth the risk. It's a long season. I always say it's a marathon, not a sprint. And for her long-term health, it was better to rest today. As far as Shallon goes, she had a little bit of a tweak as well. Nothing major, but again, we're trying to keep the bigger picture in mind and keep her as healthy as we can. And it ended up being a good opportunity to throw some new faces in instead.
Coach, still early into the season, but you face some tough competition tonight, and how important is that?
It's extremely important for us to be able to compete with the best of the best at the end of the season. It's important to have those matchups throughout the season as well. And Florida is an amazing team, one of the top teams in the country. And so I think we showed that we can hang with them. If we hadn't counted that fall, we would have had a really good meet and would have been able to really hold our own. So I think that says a lot about what this team is capable of. We've got to clean up a couple things, still polish up some landings. Obviously, we can't be counting mistakes in those big championship moments, but I think this team learned from it, they grew from it, and it's just going to help them in the end.
Let's go to Katie on Zoom.
Hey, Ashley, you talked about that after the back-to-back falls on bars that your team learned from that. What do you think they kind of learned in that moment that propelled them to finish strong on beam and floor?
I think, Lauren's mistake was truly a mistake. That was her first time in there in the lineup, and, we haven't gotten a chance to fully dig into it, troubleshoot kind of what went on in her mind, but it was a mistake. And then I think for Jordan coming back after that, she was really trying to go big. And we always talk about to find your edge. Sometimes you've got to go a little over, sometimes you've got to go a little under. So I think she did approach it well, and we just need to go back in the gym and kind of fine tune what that edge looks like. How much does she push down on the bar? How much does she squeeze at the top of the handstand? There's a few little tweaks that we can make so that she feels a little bit more confident going in next time.
And then I saw you talk to them at like the halfway point and then also at the end. What kind of was your message in both instances? I'm sure one was a little bit different than the other.
We actually come together after every event, whether we nailed it or whether we had a little bit of trouble on it. You'll always see us at the end of each competitive rotation come together as a group, just kind of go over what's a high, what's something we want to improve, and then just break on roll tide or something like that so that we can regain focus as we go into the next event.
Hey, Coach, what was your thought process with scratching Elisa Blanco from the vault routine and putting Lauren Little in her place?
In that moment, Louisa was having a little bit of trouble with her steps. And again, I go back to it's a long season. And sometimes those moments where you see an athlete not be quite as confident as they need to be, there's something bigger going on. And I would hate to put somebody in a situation where maybe they hurt themselves, or maybe they do something just out of the norm because they weren't fully confident stepping into that moment. And so Louisa is consistently a rock star, so I knew there was just something that was a little bit off tonight. It wasn't clicking, and that's okay. We have other people that can step in, and so it turned out to be a good opportunity for Lauren to gain some experience, and she did a really good job.
Hello. How do you think these girls can keep their ground and their peace when there's always so much pressure for them to be their best?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's tough. It's tough to be competing and have a lot of expectations on them. And so we continue to try to frame things as opportunities. And every day, every meet, every moment is an opportunity to learn something new, to get a little bit better. Growth is one of our philosophies for this team. And so I think it's really important to stay invested in the process and just continue to learn, to grow, to develop, and to just be equipped with the tools to be able to hit in those big moments.
What goes into sticking a landing? I know it's been a point of emphasis, but like, how do you make it better, and like, what goes into it?
I have a lot of answers for that, but I'll try to keep it as simple as I can. One of the biggest ways to stick, I guess, is to spot the landing. And so a lot of them, if they do like a 1.5 off the beam, then they try to spot the full as they open out the last half. On bars, they try to spot the ground before they stick. On floor, spot the floor before their feet come down. So it's about having the air awareness and the visibility to see where you're trying to come down so that you can absorb and take the landing in the correct position.
Katie?
How proud are you of the floor lineup tonight and the way they were just kind of able to end this meet on such a high note?
I'm really proud of the floor lineup and really the whole team. One of the really cool things that came out of tonight is normally, we come together after each event and I do say something, but this time they started speaking and they started owning it, and they kind of came together and were like, this is what we're going to do. This is our house. We're going to commit. We're going to go big. We're going to be bold and courageous. And those are the breakthrough moments where, you're not always going to see on the outside, but I think those are the pivotal things that are going to bring this team to the next phase, because when they start owning their gymnastics and owning their skill set, that's when big things start to happen.
And Ashley, just to close us out, I don't know if you heard the announcement, but the student section was at capacity tonight. So what was it like having all the students here and having that support in the arena?
That's amazing. I did not know it was at capacity, but it felt at capacity. It makes such a big difference. I mean, to see all those people in the stands, to see them right there down on the floor. We've got our new kind of student section over there by Beam. It just adds so much energy, so much support. I know our athletes felt it. We as coaches felt it. And it really is a difference maker. And so, while we had a little mistake tonight that we had to come back from, the fans were a huge part of how we came back. And having season highs on beam and floor, I think says a lot about how the fans were a part of that. And so please continue to come out, fans, continue to support us. Our next meet is Power of Pink against Auburn. That's going to be a huge matchup. And we need every single person there. I hope our students are at capacity, and I hope our general admission is at capacity as well.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.